Okay, good evening, everyone. It's great to see you all once again. We have three questions that will be answered within 10 minutes. As I mentioned in the last week, today we are getting the opportunity to interact with the panels who are sitting around us. They look energetic, and I believe these interview sessions will be very dramatic because we had discussions, we had communications, but like today's interview was an experience, so the situation is going to be very energetic. So I pledge the audience to be ready with diaries, notebooks, notepads, whatever it may be, to note down the important points that will be said during the session. Number one, what are your long-term goals as a civil servant? Since 1948, the time civil service was introduced into India by Lord Canning, I never believed anyone would determine for clearing this examination and work as a civil servant without any goals. The same applies to me. We have problems, plans in our life, despite getting a good package from the companies where we can work. It is my privilege to have settled the grievances, problems faced by the people. My long-term goals include setting up educational quality education, to bring about the state of the art infrastructures, and lastly, to prevail transparency within my jurisdictions. These are the three prominent points that I can mention as I were to answer about my plans as a civil servant. Number two, what step would you take to address educational disparities in marginalized communities? That's an interesting question. As I mentioned earlier, my first priority is going to be setting up educational institution. It's quite a challenge for the marginalized people to get quality education. Recently we have heard about an each student who had no chance to enter IITs due to late for admission. However, when they got to know about their response to be answered by the Supreme Court judges, without any hesitation, they moved to the Supreme Court, and although the admission duration was closed, he got a chance to enter into IITs. That means they want something. But the problem is not them, I should say. Their problems is to work very hard during preparation, because the examination is not going to be a piece of cake. It needs a lot of practice, a lot of strategy. That requires their effort, despite their responsibility in fulfilling the utmost experiences. They are able to clear the examination. So when I see what the problems they are facing is not their interest, it's not about the problems of the government, but the example that I've given, let us take it back, let us take that statement back. They understood the procedure of the Supreme Court from the Indian Constitution, prioritizing them to raise their grievances if it is violating their fundamental rights. Through the law enshrined in the Constitution, they are able to clear their grievances with the help of Supreme Courts. And today, if all the kids in the village are educated, they would not only receive jobs from the central government or companies. It is on the basis of the personal growth and interest. They would understand the procedure of the law. And for this, I would set up digital learning. It needs just an internet connection. Also, we have seen technology development from China, from United States. We Indians are also getting the privilege to connect with Starlink, which is owned by Elon Musk. It enhances the speed of the internet. When the Starlink is installed in a specific area, availing users, media users, to access to fast internet connection. This is the basic example I would take and make it available in my jurisdiction. Then I would help students to connect to the internet and reveal its usage. Because what they can learn from school is another thing. Depending on the teacher, I couldn't teach teachers. I solely depend on the students. So when they are able to get a chance to interact with experienced teachers from YouTube, from online mode learning, they would get more opportunity which fits them, which can attract their interests. What explanations do they want? What would be the reasons that they'd like to study engineering, medical, or anything? It would be totally based on their interests. But I would like to pave the way forward to achieving their dreams by digitalizing the mode of education. Next, what's the biggest challenge India face today? Diplomats. The current external minister is Jaishankar. He has tried his best, cooperating with the neighboring countries of India. Since 1947, we're now in the 25th. Not only Jaishankar, a lot of external ministers have tried their best, prevailing peace between India and Pakistan. Thus far, we have not seen any agreement between the two. What we experience is the death of innocent civilians, on both sides. This is a very awful affairs between India and Pakistan. Despite the other countries who can manage dialogue with the country, our biggest challenge is to cultivate good relationship with Pakistan. How should these be completed? I have 2 points to make this very clear. Number 1, boundaries. In Kashmir, that shares the longest boundary with Pakistan. They have their respective arms and armies. We have our own armies standing in the border. We did not lose an inch of the boundary, but let us share one another. I don't mean we are coward. We have ample of lands to develop within the country. Why not sacrificing few lands in place of lives? Let's give them and try to create what is available as best we could, because through this we will be able to come up with the best solutions, modern against with the Pakistan. They don't care about life. Their religion allows them to kill more and more people to go to heaven. That is what they expected. So suicide bomber, we know about Pulwama attack, we know about Uri, we know about the recent incident, Pahalgam attack, where hundreds of the brave hearts, hundreds of innocents' lives were killed. I don't mean we are scared of them, but let them take their own statement. And accordingly, we can set up the judgment, which they should not exceed. Once it's exceeded, we are not scared. We have the energy to take over the Pakistan. It's time for our strengths to be revealed once they do not follow the rules. My point is, let us make their own statement, and the judgment should be met accordingly with that. As I mentioned, this is a very serious thing that we need to prioritize at this stage, because somehow we are able to manage the other countries through dialogue, and we also set up different agreements. That's very good, but now we need to focus on the relationship with Pakistan. Then everything is settled. Thank you.